Well, good Monday morning to you. Trucker Todd here, and time for another video. All right, folks, I've been thinking about this all day, trying to think how to talk about it. There's been a lot of safety in the news, and I know you guys hate safety videos as much as I do. I like safety. I just don't like lecturing about safety. But basically, there's a bunch of crap going on that makes safety not safe. So I did a video before called When Safety Isn't Safe, and it was about the little brick on your front bumper that slams on the brakes when you're driving and then you go under an overpass or something like that. Now we're going to do When Safety Isn't Safe Part 2. So you guys, before we do, I want to remind y'all that on Tuesday night at 5 p.m. Central Time, we're going to have Michelle Cantrell come on. She's a lead recruiter at Swift Transportation, and we've got a lot of great questions for her. And I hope you'll join me for that. And then on Thursday, we're going to do, in case you missed it, we can talk about that interview. We can talk about this video, all of those things at that time. But before we get there, you guys give this video a thumbs up. Share it on your social media platforms. Make sure you're subscribed. That helps me more than you could possibly ever know. And look down in the description below for a lot of other great information. Been getting a lot of questions lately, and the information is down in the description below, especially questions like where does the music come from and things like that. So it's down there. Check it out. It's also how you can contribute to the channel, how you can contact me, and how to join me on Facebook, Instagram, all of that. And I'm even going to add TikTok in there. I ain't got a lot of stuff up yet, but I'm working on it. Speaking of the music, let's cue it up and get started. Here we go.
And this is why I do this, why I'm out here, why I keep that hammer down. Flying by these road signs with home on my mind, with these wheels turning round. For my family and for my kids, for this life I wanna live. This is why I do this.
Alrighty, we're back. Thanks for joining me again. Let's talk about this. So right now in New Mexico, there's a bill going around. They're trying to make it to where it's illegal to be in the hammer lane, in the passing lane, unless you're passing. Folks, we don't need a law. That's already the law. You should be driving in the right lane unless you're passing somebody. I know some of these companies are telling the students to drive in the center lane. That's not where, on a 3-lane, that's not really where you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be in the right lane so that people can pass you. It's normally not an issue for me because I'm normally going slow to conserve fuel. But when I am going fast, I pass somebody and get back over. And that's what you should be doing. Why we need a law is because some people are staying out there a lot longer than they should be. Now, they're making the argument, well, if you got a truck going 65 miles an hour and one going 67, it takes a few minutes for them to pass, and there's a 10-mile backup. There's not a 10-mile backup. That's ridiculous. It does delay traffic, but you're going to have that no matter what. Hey, geniuses that are coming up with this, think about this for a second. If you think that backs up traffic now, these speed limiters that you're wanting to put on will really back up traffic. You wait till every truck on the highway is doing 65, but one of them's got a heavier load than the other, and they're drag racing up and down the mountains. So, sometimes you can regulate yourself into oblivion, and I think that's what these guys are doing right here. You don't need another law telling people to get over. Heck, if anything, just put some signs out there. Left lane for passing only. It's already the law. You don't need a new law. And if you see people egregiously hanging out in the hammer lane, pull them over and write them a ticket. The fine for this deal that New Mexico is trying to pass is $250 per occurrence. And you guys know with the CDL, it's not the ticket that gets you, it's the points that come with it. So again, it's, I think it's legislators trying to justify their jobs. We don't need a new law. We just need people to follow the laws that are already there. And if you think it's bad now, speed limiters are only going to make it worse. Okay, let's talk about another safety thing that's really bugging me. And I had several people call me about this week. It's something that is going on with several trucking companies. It's the latest, greatest idea from these safety departments. And I swear, when I hear some of the ideas these safety departments have, it reminds me of that 70s show where they're sitting in the basement in a circle smoking something. I can't say it because YouTube will get mad. They're sitting in the basement smoking something that was really, really popular in the 60s and 70s and making a comeback now. And it inebriates the brain. It hurts judgment, things like that. Anyway, I think we all know what I'm talking about. Because some of these things these safety departments come up with is just ridiculous. Let me tell you what I mean. I'm going to put myself in the role of one of these phone calls I had. And I'm also going to put myself in the role of the dispatcher. So, you're driving down the road in a major metropolitan city. Dispatcher Todd calls you. Hey, driver Todd, how you doing today? I'm doing good. How are you? Oh, pretty good. We just wanted to check, make sure you're going to deliver your load on time tomorrow, or Monday. This is on a Saturday now. Yeah, I should. I'm 700 miles away. I got 2 days to get there. Should make it easy. Why? Is the computer saying I'm going to be late? No. They just want us to start calling you and making sure that you're going to be on time. Okay. Have I ever been late? Well, no, driver Todd, you've never been late. Okay, well, you've done what they wanted me to do, and I've answered your question. Is there anything else you need? Well, actually, yes, Trucker Todd. We need to, at the company, as Dispatcher Todd, we need to remind you to be aware of your surroundings. Now, at this point, you bust out hysterically. Be aware of my surroundings. You called me when I'm in a major metropolitan area during rush hour and are telling me to be aware of my surroundings. Let me ask you guys a question. Let's pause this skit for a second. Does being on the phone increase your awareness around you or subtract your awareness around you? Why are these companies calling drivers? And I had 2 guys call me this week. I'm not talking about Swift. It was another company in at least one of those cases. Why are these companies calling drivers? They can see where you're at in the middle of rush hour, asking them to be aware of their surroundings. Is that really the best time to be calling somebody? These same people are constantly lecturing about don't text and drive, don't be on your phone while you're driving. And yet they're calling you during these times. Why can't they send a message on your computer? Hey, be careful out there. Let us know if you're going to run into any delays. But for these drivers that have never had a late or pickup or delivery and that are driving safe, that are experienced drivers, in my case, I've got 25 years. One of these other drivers, I think he had 20 years. I don't know about the other one. But I don't get it about these companies. Who thought that was a good idea? Hey, I think the way we can make our trucking company more safe is by bothering drivers when they're in rush hour traffic and reminding them to be aware of their surroundings. Or I think the best way to make sure this load will be on time is to question them while they're going down the road. Now, I remember back in the day, we used to do check calls. You had to call in every morning. Some companies it was by 9, some companies it was by 10. And you just said, hey, I'm here and everything's fine. We don't need that anymore. We've got electronic devices. This particular equipment I've got here, I don't know about those other companies. The trailer has tracking equipment on it. I assume most companies have that now. The truck has multiple things tracking it, including some of these apps that these companies have you download. So they've got multiple ways to track where you're at and what you're doing. And in the case of the one guy where he was going through El Paso, why couldn't they wait 20 minutes till he got out of El Paso? Then he'd be in almost no traffic, and it'd be a much better environment to answer those questions. I think what it is, it's on a weekend. It's a skeleton crew at these companies. I think they just get bored and, you know, they don't have nothing to do. So maybe we'll just bug the worker ants or whatever. You know, this is another one of those videos that's probably going to get me in trouble, but I just don't get it. You know, these states, you know, California is a perfect example. California drivers will get frustrated to death that trucks are going so slow, but they're the ones that made the speed limit. And New Mexico will get so upset that drivers are hanging out in the left lane or that they're taking so long to pass somebody. But then they'll turn around and pass these mandate laws that created the bottleneck to begin with. I think a lot of safety studies have shown the safest way to avoid these types of incidences is just have everybody go the same speed. And I mean cars and trucks alike. When you've got cars running 75 or 80, and you got a lot of trucks that are governed at 65 or 60, you're going to have bottlenecks. I don't know why. How many highway research studies do we need to figure this out? But anyway, I hope I've articulated what I wanted to say. Sometimes when I get upset like this, it's hard for me to say what's on my mind. But it's just amazing me at the amount of stupidity that some of these safety departments are displaying right now. And you guys know, I've said in videos recently, I think I'd make a good safety guy, but it wouldn't be because I came up with stupid policies like this. I'd be more of an educator. I'd call and say, hey, you know, you're hanging out in the left lane too long. That's really not what the left lane was designed for. I would be more of a coach than, hey, we're going to fire you if you do this again. Or, hey, you got to come in and watch 10 hours of videos. Sometimes people get complacent and they forget about safety. And I love safety, but come on now. We have to use some common sense too. I think in a lot of cases we need common sense more than we need safety. So anyway, that's all I got to say about that for today. I'll see y'all tomorrow night. Have a great Monday, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.